Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take, for Tuesday night, July the 22nd. Did you miss me? Be honest, did you miss me? I certainly missed you. I checked in with a grand whopping total of one video when I was gone, and it was actually a members only Ask Me Anything. But the Canucks really didn't do much, but that doesn't mean we don't have stuff to talk about tonight. But I am grateful to be back with all of you, and I'm grateful that you remembered me. You didn't forget about me. You might be visiting other content creators, which is all good. Support them as well, but don't forget who is No, I was going to say who was here first. That sounded so sappy. But I'm glad that you didn't forget that I was still around. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thank you for your support. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether by beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you're here with me, know how much I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. Love all of the nice welcome back messages. Thank you. We are so back indeed. We got a hi Clay, welcome back. Thank you. We got a welcome back. We got a hi Clay. Actually, a Thai Clay. I'm Japanese, Chinese. I'm just kidding, Carol. We got just here for the Vegas recap. Hope you enjoyed your trip. Glad to see you back. Missed you, Clay. Missed you too. Glad you're back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. And then we're going to get to this in a second. Moderators, I think I said all that kind of stuff. Did I say the whole moderators? Thank you for keeping this a safe, respectful place. Members, as Legend, Hall of Fame, franchise members, thanks for your support. If I didn't, I'm just saying it again. And everyone else, no matter where you're watching from. No, I said this already because I remember I said work, school, or bed, all three. So this is how you can get involved tonight. And we'll get to SkyTrain Alfred in a second. You can subscribe to the channel so you get active in the chat section, get notified of my videos. I'm a little rusty. You can like the video, like the fact that we're together, like the fact that I'm back from Vegas, like the fact that I did not fall off the balcony at the Sphere in Las Vegas, like the fact that I did not lose any money, and like the fact that I had a really great celebration with Gail, 25 years, some good food, some good shows, some good shopping, but I'll get to all of that in a second. And like the fact, most important, that we are together once again, reunited, and it feels so good. You can leave a donation, get the donation train out of the station. You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your membership. You can use your monthly membership message like SkyTrain Alfred has just done. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. So let's get to SkyTrain Alfred's monthly membership message. Gets us going tonight. And as always, I like to use this one as the first one of the night because any type of acknowledgement like this certainly slaps.
Hard.
SkyTrain Alfred, a member for over 3 years, 37 months to be exact. Clay, the man we all miss after him spending a week down in Sin City. Welcome back home, Clay. Well, it wasn't a full month, Alfred. It was 5 days. Sorry, not a full month. That would be crazy. A full week. It was 5 days, 4 nights. But yes, I am happy to be home. And thank you, SkyTrain Alfred. Let's give Alfred some love in the chat for using his monthly, using a monthly membership. No, you can only use it once, for using his monthly membership message. Now, one thing I should recall or mention is our race on our fictional leaderboard. Fangirl has a lead with 550 experience points, followed by Swervin Irvin at 525. So it looks like a two-horse race offensive. I'm not calling you horses. A two-person race at the top, and then SkyTrain Alfred is in third. But I think this person might move up a little bit with this donation. So here we got Tyler, the line change right here. Here we go. And let's give him, Tyler, which video you like? I'm going to give you the save for now. Not only is Tyler a legend, a great contributor and supporter, not only did he do a cool video interview with Dave Hall, prospects guru of Canucks Army, which I haven't watched yet, admittedly, but I will later, Tyler, just like I watched your chat with Brendan Astle. Always got to be careful how to say that last name. So congratulations, Tyler. But I know that Tyler watches my videos that I post because, yes, I won't show it on here because I don't want to get copyrighted, but I'll show you some pictures in a second. But yeah, as soon as my seat started moving the sphere, I exclaimed rather loudly, "Why is my seat moving?" So thank you, Tyler, for the donation. Let's give Tyler some love in the chat. And we all missed you. I miss you guys as well. So once again, some love from love for Tyler in the chat. But we ain't done. Then we have Swerve and Irvin getting in on the fun, and I know he loves the window. We got Swerve and Irvin gifting a membership, and this one goes to Indigo Hertz, who's been around before. So welcome back to franchise membership, Indigo Hertz, and thank you to Swerve and Irvin for the $5 donation that doubles as a membership gift. So let's give some love to Swerve and Irvin in the chat. So already, just like that, we've hit 3 of the high 5, the monthly membership message from Elfrin, the donation from Tyler, and then the monthly the gift membership from Irvin. Now we have the 2 other ones to go that will trigger a giveaway, and that the 2 hardest ones, admittedly. It's someone buying their own membership, and it's someone upgrading their membership. Glad that you're glad, Fangirl. I'm glad to be back as well. So after all that, what happens to the leaderboard? So Fangirl is still in first at 600, but Irvin has jumped up to 525. Oh no, that was the same. Well, Fangirl actually opened up a lead. Oh, I don't think monthly membership messages get you points, but I know donations do because Line Change has now jumped up to a 3rd place tie with Skytrain Alfred. Okay, I want to make sure we get to Canucks Talk. Thank you, J-Kid. I appreciate that. No upgrade button. Yeah, I appreciate you. So I could talk about Vegas for a long time, and I know someone like Adrian would love to hear that, especially when there's no Canucks Talk. But this is Clay's Canucks commentary, not Clay's Vegas commentary. So I'm going to time myself. I can be succinct, believe it or not, but do I have to be? So 11:08 by the latest 11:20, but I don't think I'm going to take 12 minutes to recap my Vegas trip. So 25th anniversary for Gail and me. We couldn't go on a longer trip because Gail's in the middle of her master's. So we're going to save that longer trip for next summer, but it was, not ironic. It was fitting that we went down to Vegas to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary because 25 years ago, in July 2000, we started our honeymoon off in Vegas. We moved down to Florida, did a Caribbean cruise, but we met a bunch of Gail's relatives in Vegas. They treated us to a few nights in Vegas at the start of our honeymoon. They didn't come to our wedding in Vancouver. I guess they were traveling east from New Jersey and they just stopped in Vegas, but not complaining. They're very generous. And we stayed at the Monte Carlo 25 years ago. Fast forward to 25 years now. And just last week on the weekend, we stayed at the Park MGM, which is the Monte Carlo redone. So we stayed basically at the same hotel, but not only at Park MGM, they made the top 4 floors of the hotel an almost European boutique hotel. So very fancy, very quiet. If you saw my post, I had a bathtub in my bedroom. I'm not going to say too much about that, but I did use it once. Just me. And the top 4 floors, it's called the Nomad Hotel. So that's where we stayed. And that was our home base for 5 days, 4 nights. Saw 3 excellent shows. We saw by Cirque du Soleil, the water one. And that one was the one we saw on our honeymoon 25 years ago. So we saw that on Friday night. We saw Shin Lim, the magician, the illusionist, on Saturday. That was a lot of fun. Had some great seats for that one. And then we ended off the cap of the trip was, of course, the Backstreet Boys concert. So I'm not going to show you any videos from it because I don't want to get copyrighted. But I am going to put all my videos. I have about 12 videos of different songs, about 1 minute to a minute and a half each. I'm going to put them together in a YouTube video and I'll have that ready for Thursday night, so I can share that link with you. I'll probably work on it tomorrow or Thursday. But here are some pictures. So that is Gail and me after the show. You can see so many people were wearing white, and I went to the Gap and I bought a $10 white shirt. I'm not a fan of white shirts, especially see-through ones, but I guess Adrian, I can pretend it's a barong, right? So yeah, and Gail looks really cool with her white shirt, white pants, and her silver top. And then that was me in my $10 Gap shirt. But yeah, that's the background, and you'll get appreciation for the size of the screen. So I'm just gonna whip through these pictures real quick, talk a bit more about some other things on the trip, and then we will get into some Canucks talk, I promise. All right. So that was us. Then that was for the song Get Down and Move It All Around. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That it's almost like a like a massive Zoom call. And you can see actually the Backstreet Boys are elevated here. This platform went up. It was so crazy. It was so I'll just go through the pictures and then I'll tell you my impressions. There's them dancing. There's another shot of them on the elevated platform. Another one there. Then that was them dancing back on the ground. These aren't in order. That was me working on my 0.5 game. That was us going up the escalators to our section. That was before the show. Where the countdown, they're playing videos and stuff. Pretty cool. A spaceship ready to launch. That was another image. That was them on the stage. That was Gail and me right before the concert. Okay, that is a picture shooting up. So that's not me looking straight at the stage. That's me going up. So you guys have seen the Sphere. You know, the draft was there. Other events and concerts have been there, including U2. But if you can't picture it or you haven't seen it, just picture a massive, like a bigger Science World. It's a dome thing. And yeah, that was me looking straight up and taking a picture. And that's the front view. Them dancing again. This is a sound called Drowning. It was actually Jackie RSA who actually asked me about that on my Members Ask Me Anything. This is Siberia. This one's another song, kind of freaky there. That I don't know what song that is, but I just like the colors. This is a song called The One, even though that says The Light, because that was my favorite picture from that song. And that was me with my Pepsi and my Backstreet Boys souvenir cup. And then that was them dancing again. Okay, so what I want to say about this, the visuals were absolutely stunning, as you can tell. The Sphere holds 18,000 people, and we were lucky. You can see some of my pictures. Maybe what's a good one to show you? That most people stood up and danced, but in my section, we were so lucky. The 6 rows ahead of us, no one stood up. So I actually had a really good view. So not only did I have a really good view, but I didn't have to stand up and dance, which was a bonus. We were in section 307, so you can just tell from the prongs of the stage, we were almost dead center. One section over would be 306, and that's dead center. So we were just one section to the right of center, which was nice. And we were also in the 300 level. It goes 100 to, well, floor is probably 100. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So we were dead center vertically. And therefore, we got a really good vantage point, especially when you look at these ones. Yeah. So again, we're just right of center, but we are perfect height where we're staring basically at the center of the big screen. So visually, the show was amazing. Every song had a different theme in terms of the animation, the background, and whatever it may be, whether it's space or water or whatever, or this Zoom call that I like to call it, this massive Zoom call. Imagine if my member Zoom call were like this. So visually, the show was absolutely stunning. Audio was really good. I wouldn't say outstanding. It was really good, or pretty good. I don't know where the speakers are in this thing because you can't see it. So that was quite impressive. They did sing over some background tracks because I definitely heard more than 5 guys singing it sometimes. And that's fine. But they sang every song live on top of the background tracks. And I think it was a live band, but I didn't see them. So I wasn't sure for sure. Yeah, if you follow the story, one of them, Brian Luttrell, has had throat issues, throat surgery. So he was a gamer. He did his best. And overall, this was a wonderful, wonderful show. A couple other things I'll say about the show real quick is I met a guy before the show who's actually a doctor, goes to all the Vegas Golden Knights games, and he's like the emergency doctor just in case something crazy happens during a game, like a guy collapses on the bench or whatever it may be. So it was cool to meet him. I met him before the concert. And then also speaking to an employee of the Sphere after the show, he said that out of every event that's been there so far, that was the best show he's seen in terms of production quality. And the excited, how excited the crowd was. So I said, "Oh, you mean this was even more exciting than last year's NHL draft?" And he kind of giggled and stuff. But kudos to the NHL for being the first major league team in there, to my knowledge. So the concert was great, and that was the highlight of our trip. Aside from that, we ate very well. I didn't post a lot of pictures of our food, but we had some really good meals: Korean barbecue, Italian, one expensive steakhouse. And so that was Japanese. We met some friends down there. It's funny. I think I mentioned this on my stream. We met friends down there for dinner that live up here, and we've never met them for dinner up here. So it took us to Vegas, to go to Vegas to meet them for dinner. So that was good. And then, played a little bit, didn't lose, which was good. And overall, just Gail and I had some really, really good family time. So there's a quick recap of Vegas. If you want to ask me more questions about the trip, I will entertain those later in the show in the Ask Me Anything section. But for now, I just wanted to share a little bit about the show, about the trip. ASGA, I mentioned we stayed at the Nomad, which is the top four floors of the Park MGM. All right, let's talk about these Vancouver Canucks, because that's the point of the show, right? Clay's Canucks commentary. But I will give you a chance to ask more Vegas questions later in the Ask Me Anything section. We'd love to grab a bite with you in Vegas as well, Clay. Yeah, we haven't done that here yet, Adrian, but we will make that happen for sure. Yeah, I can send you the BSB videos later, RSA, but I'm also going to put them all together in a YouTube video, like I mentioned, so that everyone can view it. Okay. I want to talk about the Canucks PK. Let's end this poll. And there's a small nuance to this poll that I want to, or at least this discussion that I want to bring up at the end. I say, do you expect a drop-off in the Canucks PK given that Suter and Joshua, among others, are gone? And I say the among others because there's an interesting stat that Jeff Patterson pulled up today. So PK will stay about the same, 36%. Okay. I'm okay with that. Then we got PK will be a tad worse, 29%. Then we have PK will actually be better, 27%. Oh, you guys are optimistic. And then we have only 6% of you saying PK will be a lot worse. So 36% saying it would stay the same. And then equal, 29 to 27 are saying, some will say it's a bit worse, some will say it's a bit better. And only 6% is saying it's going to be a lot worse. So the obvious one is Pius Suter. Well, no, actually, let's step back. Under Travis Green, our PK was bad. Under Bruce Boudreau, our PK was really bad, like historically bad almost. I think second worst in NHL history. And then when Rick Tocchet came, it took him 2 seasons, but he turned the PK into a top, I think it was top 3 actually, but definitely a top 10 PK. Yeah, third best rate last year, 83%. So a top 3 penalty killing unit in the entire season, in the entire league, I should say. Now, so let's have that context that they've basically gone from the second worst to the third best in a span of 2 seasons. So we got to give props to Rick Tocchet and the coaching staff for that. Now, they've lost some key penalty killers moving into next season. Pius Suter, our jack of all trades, he was actually the 9th. So he led the Canucks forwards in PK minutes, and he was 9th overall in the entire league. Dakota Joshua is also gone, and he wasn't a huge contributor last year considering all his issues, but 2 years ago he was a big contributor on the penalty kill. Also, in terms of top 10 Canucks, not in the league, top 10 Canucks, aside from Suter and Joshua, 3 others of them have left, and that's JT Miller, Danton Heinen, and Phil DiGiuseppe. Now, what's really interesting about these 3 guys is Miller left the team, got traded in mid-season. Danton Heinen got traded near the end of the season or mid-season, and Phil DiGiuseppe barely played. So to have Miller, Heinen, and DiGiuseppe all in the top 10 Canucks forwards in penalty killing and not playing full seasons, that's saying something in terms of how heavily they relied on guys like Pius Suter and his PK partner, Teddy Bluger. So more on Teddy Bluger in a second. So what does that leave then? If you're losing Suter, your best PKer, and then Joshua, who's done PK over the past 2 years, if you look at 3 units, like I'm not going to go into like 4 or 5 pairings, but at least the 3 units, you're probably looking at these 6 players. So you're still looking at Teddy Bluger. You still have him. You're looking at Garland. You're looking like O'Connor. You're looking at Sherwood. Then I think Elias Pettersson jumps into that top 6 penalty killers again. And then, after that 5, it's dealer's choice. So again, Bluger, Pettersson, Sherwood, O'Connor, and Garland. If you want a center, so you have 3 pairings and each one has a center just in case. Well, no, you can always change because you're not going to get dinged for icing. But yeah, if you want a center, it'll be interesting. Is Atu Ratu then become your guy? At least he can win centers on with his with his right shot. And then Jeff Patterson, this is an article from Jeff Patterson. He mentions that Brock Besser, Evander Kane, Philip Hito, Niels Hoglander, Jake DeBrusk, those 5 rarely kill penalties. So again, if it is Bluger, Pettersson, O'Connor, Garland, and Sherwood, they're going to at least need one more forward to make 3 pairs, and maybe Atu Ratu does have the inside track because he indeed is a center. So those are the 3 potential forward groups that we would see pairings. And then if you have Pettersson, don't go in that order. You go Bluger, Pettersson, Ratu. At least you have a center in all 3 of those combos. Now, the nuance I talked about, why I do think the penalty killing is actually going to be still good, is we have a full season, hopefully, of Thatcher Demko and Kevin Lankinen as our goaltenders. And then we have a full season of Marcus Pettersson and DPD, who are both rocks back there. Now, will you use Hughes and Hronik a little bit less on the PK to save him for power play? Likely. So then you're looking at units of Pettersson and Myers, and then Forbert and DPD, and then that's the thing. If Mancini or Verlander make the team, or you get a Forbert and Joseph, or then you bring Hronik down to play with Forbert and not play, say, DPD or Verlander or Mancini on the PK. So the defense is better than last year, at least a full year. Then the goaltending should be better if Demko's healthy. So yes, there's a lot of stress about the forwards that we are losing. We're stressed about the forwards that we're losing, but don't forget our D and our goaltender should be really, really good. And therefore the penalty kill as a unit, I think will be just as good last year. I'm not going to proclaim that they're going to be better, but I don't think the drop off is going to be as bad as people think it might be. So give me some thoughts about that. And then we will go from there. And yeah, great point. Let's talk hockey. This is presuming that with the players that we have right now. So of course, there's a lot of rumor speculation that maybe we made that Joshua trade to clear up some salary so we can get a right-handed center in Jack Roslovic. So there's another potential penalty killer there. But we're talking right now about the guys that we indeed have on the roster. So I'll just spend about 5 minutes on the power play, and then I'll go to Mitchell Sponsory, and then we'll get to all of your thoughts on the Canucks special teams, power play, and penalty kill. On the power play, this should be interesting because you lost JT Miller, who was obviously the quarterback of that after Quinn Hughes was basically the assistant quarterback on the power play unit for the first half of the season last year, especially as PD struggled. So the only 3 right-handed forwards are Besser, Garland, and Sherwood. So they'll likely play the bumper as a left shot player because you have more options. So let's say that Besser's on the first unit and Garland's on the second unit if you're worried about your right-handers. So your first unit is obviously Hughes up top. And then if you want PD on his one-timer side, on one side, you now could have Besser on his one-timer side on the left, right? Opposite. So Besser is a right-hander on the left. PD is a left-hander on the right. Hughes up top. Then really it's dealer's choice. I would put DeBrusk in front of the net, right? And then who's your bumper player? Is Niels Hoglander, who I do like his shot. Is he mature enough? Is he reliable enough to play in the bumper? do you try Evander Kane there on the first unit already and run out with Besser, Pedersen, Kane, DeBrusque, and Hughes, or do you put Philip Hito in the bumper on that first power play unit? Then your second power play unit, I don't worry so much about having a center, but you could put Hito there if you're worried about winning a draw. But usually the second unit comes on changing on the fly. So that's where you have Philip Hronek up top. And then you probably have Connor Garland as your righty on the left side. Here you could have Hoglander, some mix of Hoglander, Hedel, Kane if you don't use him on the first unit. You could put Sherwood out there. You could try O'Connor. You could try, I guess we're running out of guys, right? So I think for the sake of completion, let's say this. Let's say that Hughes is on the first one, Hronek's on the second one. So let's try and fill four forwards for each of the two units. I would go on the first one. I go PD, Brock, DeBrusque, and Kane. Why not? Just put our four highest paid forwards out there together. So Pedersen, Besser, DeBrusque, and Kane. And then on the second unit, I would put Hoglander, Hito, Garland, and one of O'Connor or Sherwood who can kind of retrieve pucks. And that's with Philip Hronek up top. You could go a 2 D-man setup of Marcus Pedersen and Hronek, and then you only need 3 forwards. Sometimes you do that to have that second defenseman on if the penalty expires. So if that's the case, then I think it's a no-brainer. Then the 7 forwards you're using are Besser, Pedersen, DeBrusque, Kane. That's my first unit. And then my second unit is Garland, Hito, and Hoglander. It's not the strongest power play, but the second power play unit isn't supposed to be as good. Unless they try that thing that Taka tried a couple times, they're making 2 equal units, but I don't think that makes sense. So there's a couple thoughts then, both on the power play and the penalty kill. I would love your thoughts after the mid-show sponsor read. So let's do that. I'll do my mid-show sponsor read. Then we'll come out of it with Canucks questions first, and then I'll save 10 minutes at the end for Vegas-related questions and Ask Me Anything. All right? So let's get going, and let's start off by, as I always do, by starting my mid-show sponsor read by thanking... Oh, by the way, it's Tuesday night, and remember, I'm not rushing off to the chapel because I've moved my prayer hour to 1 a.m. now as opposed to midnight. So, excited to not rush off at 11:40 tonight, because that would be just 12 minutes from now, and that would feel way too short on a night where I make my triumphant return from Vegas. All right, let's thank my primary sponsor, and that's Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the Greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsors. The first one, the way they're listed actually, is Coach Patrick Lou, weight loss coach. You can check them out at coachpatricklou.com/clay and receive a free 5-day workout when you do so. Also, thank you to my secondary sponsor, Gassy Jack Art. He creates this amazing artwork that you see behind me. Check him out at gassyjackart.com. And finally, thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who's purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. I appreciate your support that way. Don't forget ways that you can get involved in the show tonight. You can subscribe. You can like the video. You can leave a donation like Tyler's done. You can gift a membership like Irvin has done. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your membership. You can use your monthly membership messages like SkyTrain Alfred has done. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. My shows this week, I actually put my schedule up on my community board. My next show is Thursday at 11 p.m. That's a regular CCC show. And then we have our members group Zoom call this Sunday, and that's for Legends and Hall of Fame members. We have our highest number ever. If everyone shows up, we have 14 people. We have 5 Legends and 9 Hall of Fame members, which is amazing. Usually we don't get all 14, but you never know. That's this Sunday at 8:30 p.m. before my regular show at 11. Finally, we're looking at the leaderboard right now. Fangirl still up top with 600. No, tied now with Swerve and Irvin. So it's a tie at 600 points. And then Line Change and Elfin are tied behind them at 225 points. So this is what we'll do for 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes. Let's go Canucks and hockey questions only. And I'm not gonna make you do this, but I'm gonna ask you to try and focus. No, whatever. You do whatever you want, as long as Canucks are hockey related. But yeah, I love your thoughts, especially on what I just spent 10 minutes talking about, and that's the Canucks penalty kill and the Canucks power play. Let's go. Whichever unit had Hughes did all the heavy lifting. That makes sense. Swerve Irvin. Fangirl. For me, the PK may stay similar to last season in terms of players, but it needs to be more unpredictable to catch teams off guard. Fangirl, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to make one suggestion. Your PK should not be unpredictable because it's standard. I think your power play can be unpredictable, but I hear what you're saying, right? Is maybe with some new players, we're going to need some new schemes or new looks. That is totally, totally fair. I'm not sure what Adrian said. Yeah, Adrian, I will text you, not when I'm in the chapel tomorrow, and I'll let you know if when I open the door at 1 a.m., if she's there. Can you imagine if she was there like this? Not like nothing bad, but just like waiting to give me a hug. No, she wouldn't have her hands extended because she'd be too busy going tick, 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 tick. You guys are hilarious. That's gonna be like a running joke every Tuesday night. Oh, you're missing it. Okay, so we beer league final. That's more. We should all. Maybe I should come watch you and do the Zoom call from your arena. If you knew Dak was going to be traded, would you have kept Pius Suter at the same rate he signed with St. Louis? Yeah, I know it's easy to say that in hindsight, but yeah, I would have kept him. Yeah, because that's kind of the guy we're going to be looking for, right? For me, the PK may be similar to last season in terms of players. Oh no, we already said that. Welcome back, Clay. Thank you. Who do you think Abby will step up big time? Who do you think Abby will step up big time? Yeah, I think Verlander is going to start the season there. I think he'll have a good year. I think the goalies will have a good year, Tolopil and Young. And I think like guys like Sasson and Baines who don't make it to the team this year will have a good year. I think Kudryavtsev is going to have a massive year down there. And maybe, yeah, those are some of the guys. You think Alvin will take another shot at Rossi with the cap space? I don't think so. I don't think it's enough. But I get if it's a trade, we got to move pieces out. I don't know. I kind of get a feeling that ship has sailed. PK may be a little stingy at first, but get better. Okay, but stingy is a good thing, right? On a PK. How do I think Vancouver will do this year? I've been saying 97 points they get in. Oh, with the power play, with the coaches, and hopefully they can do well. Yes, I hope they do well. Oh, I see a bit of a glitch. Oh, my Wi-Fi. Oh, weird. It's not my Wi-Fi. It's StreamYard. But yes, I expect the power play to be a little bit worse because they're losing JT Miller. I expect the penalty kill to still be just as good. Do I know that there's commercials on my stream right now? Or do you mean my stream? Do you mean my stream? No, I did not know that because I don't see them here. And I didn't insert them. So, and it depends on what kind of YouTube account you have as well. I have YouTube Premium where I don't see commercials anywhere, but I think it depends on your account as well. But I did not insert those commercials. Do I think a healthy Demko makes Team USA? I do. I do think he's one of the 3 best American goalies. And I think he'll be number 2 behind Hellebuck, but ahead of Ottinger and Swayman. Imagine if we knew JT Miller was going to go and we were able to keep Lindholm. Would you be confident in EP and EL as 1C, 2C? No, I'm not a big Lindholm fan. Like, he was okay for us, but not at the money he's making. I don't think that's the best use of resources. Okay, I'll message you, Swerve and Irvin. It's at Hillcrest. All right. Pete DeBoer is here. If the Canucks go on a losing skid, do you think they'll pull what the Blues did with Bannister and fire Foot, despite him having a few months, and hired DeBoer? I need a job and Team Canada. Pete, I would love you to coach the Canucks, but I think they're going to give Foot a bit of leash for sure. How much do you think home opener tickets will cost? Sarah, not to be so avoidant of your question, but it really depends on the seats you want to buy. I could see the cheapest seat being somewhere between $80 and $90 a ticket, and all the way up to hundreds of dollars depending on where you want to sit. Who do you think from Abbey will step up to the main roster? Oh, I think Ratu is, if they don't trade for center, Ratu is going to be given a shot. And I think he's the biggest one. I think Lekaramaki, if you call him an Abbotsford. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention Lekaramaki in my power play thoughts, but I'm not sure if he slots in as a top 12 like to start the season. So, and then if you call Mancini Abbotsford, I think he's gonna have a good year as well. Roland says though Verlander and Mancini start in the A. That is fair. 8:30 Tyler on Sunday. Put Kane on Hito's line, can protect, is fasting, and can finish. Put Garland on right wing. Oh, so Kane, Garland, and Hito, and that leaves Besser, DeBrusque, and Petey. I have time for that, Cinema Sam. Given footy is defocused, will offense take the back seat? No, because one of their assistant coaches, Scott Young, was a great offensive player, so I think he will help a lot. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Taylor. Taylor helping Tyler. I like that. Which would you anticipate now that Joshua is traded? Another trade for 2C or UFA signing of a 2C? Rostovich UFA, right? I think that's the target. So if I had to pick one, I think they're going to try and go UFA, then you don't give up assets. Although with a trade, you get more cap space, right? With the Hall of Fame defenseman now behind the bench as head coach, do you anticipate any philosophical changes to the penalty kill? No. I'm sure he was part of the penalty kill last year, so I don't see any changes. Yeah, no, Tocchet definitely asked for it. And usually the D coach coaches the penalty kill and the offensive coach coaches the power play. Which three former Canadian goaltenders would you like to see play in the upcoming Olympics in their prime? Waugh, Brodeur, Luongo. Yeah, I take those three. I don't think Lekaramaki is a lock to start. I really don't. Good question, though. What's my deeper dive in the Joshua trade? Yeah, I did a video before I left for Vegas, or I think it was the day before. I really don't have a deep dive, Adrian, to be honest with you. I think that they weren't thrilled with his conditioning 2 years ago. Last year, what can you do? He went through so much. I simply don't think that... I think the Canucks coaching staff wanted him to be this big bruiser, and I don't think that's his game. I think it's not a finesse game, but he certainly plays less as a bruiser and more as a I don't want to say goal scorer, because his career high is 18 goals, but he had decent hands for his size. We're gonna miss his size for sure, but I don't think there's any nefarious or anything bad about this trade. I simply think that they did a hard look at how much they're paying him for how much value he brings, and they think they can get that value elsewhere. A good start to the season. Well, if you figure you need, let's say 100 points even to make, well, no, you probably need about 98 points to make the playoffs. Or 96, because I'm saying 97 they get in. So let's say 96. That's 14 games over 500. That means you need to be 2 games over 500, 1.7 games over 500 for every 10 game stretch, right? Because 1.75, 1.6 technically. If you want 96 points, yeah, that means you're 14 games over 500. And if you divide the season up into 8, 14 divided by 8 is 1.8 or whatever. So after 10 games, you need to have, I think, 12 points. Because if you go 12 divided by 20 times 82, 12 divided by 20. So 12 divided by 10, dummy, times 82. Yeah, that gets you 98 points. So yeah, I think you need 12 points to be comfortable, 12 to 13 points after 10 games, and then 25 points after 20 games. That's what I think it should be. Would you do Lekaramaki, Hogs, and a first for McTavish? I like McTavish. Depends on that first. I don't know if I would do that. And does he solve all your issues immediately? Lou, Fleury, and Price. Oh, those are good too. Now that Joshua Shilohs are dealt away, who is the biggest and most likely to be trade chip now we carry now? Well, Bluger's name was already out there, but we need centers. I don't know there's another trade chip like that I'd be willing to part with. Obviously, Verlander would fetch a lot. I wouldn't say Coots would. The first round pick would have. Mancini, no. So Verlander would fetch a lot. DPD would fetch a bit. Mancini maybe a bit. So, but I still think Bluger might be the one. Gerard Gallant's here. Wow, I got Gallant and DeBoer in here. That's awesome. Amazing. Yeah, these are my three as well. Oh, no. I said Waugh. I said Patrick Waugh. I didn't have Carey Price in there. Whoops. Who's going to score the most? I think it's going to be Brock. I think he's going to have a big year. I think it's Brock. 4 times 3.75, right? 3.75 times 4. I don't go 4 with Rostovich. I go 2. I go 2 years. Some fans won't be happy if we get Rostovich because he's horrible. Who said he's horrible? You won't get much for Bluger. That's a great point, Tyler. That's a good point. So DeBoer and Gallant are having a war of words in the chat. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think the Canucks will want to go shorter. Canucks should stay pat and go with this group. Maybe some C's come available during the season. Hito can fill the 2C. Can also accrue cap space. Yeah, Gerald, they accrued cap space last year and they didn't use it. So, but I hear what you're saying. And you're right. There may be some teams that follow the mix pretty early or are looking to shake up their teams. That's a very fair point. Gosh, 11:42. This is where I'd usually be wrapping up my show and rushing out the door. So it's kind of nice not to be so rushed tonight. Well, it won't be 4 million because I think he was talking total, which turns out to be 3.75 million a year. Who is the ideal D partner for Hughes in the Olympics? I do think Hughes and Fox could be a top pairing. Who else is there? Wierenski. Yeah, who are the right shot guys? Yeah, I could see it being Fox. Wow, what a dynamic pairing that would be. Who did Hughes play with? Oh no, he didn't play in the 40. What am I talking about? That's a good question, Van Greg. I think about that one. So for the baby Canucks, how do you think the coaches of the power play are going to do that? You mean for Abbotsford? I don't know much about the Abbotsford power play. Sorry, Simon. Now that 8 years is maximum contract, does it change your view on the weighted contract term lengths? Oh, you mean the fact that they're moving towards 7, you mean? Yeah, because it's only going to be 8 years for one more year. It's 8 years when you sign your own guy, 7 when you sign someone else, but after next year, it'll go to 7 years, sign your own guy, 6. So does it change your view on the weight of contract term lengths? No, it doesn't change my view on the lengths. What it changes for me is because a lot of players, and I learned this from an analyst, they look at total dollars as opposed. So Brock is a $50 million player now. They don't worry about 8 or whatever, 7 times 7.25 or whatever it was. They talk about him being a $50 million player. So naturally, those numbers will go down a little bit because you have one less year to total, but it also could mean average salary will go up with the rising cap. Canucks are not going to want to part with their first round pick next year, not unless someone offers them something that blows their socks off. That is fair. You all see that London DuPont's favorite team is the Canucks. Is the season to go well? Tank for Bedard's cousin McKenna and then tank again for DuPont. Well, that's a lot of tanking. Zadora fell into the Canucks lap in the middle of the season. Fingers crossed that something similar happens. Good point. If you're Team Canada's manager, would you roll out the same roster in the Olympics as you did in the Four Nations? If not, who would you swap? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I got to look up the Four Nations lines. Canada, Four Nations lines. Or I can just look at the players for Canada. Reinhart, McDavid, McKinnon, they stay. Hagel, Point, Marner, they stay. Marchand, Crosby, Stone. Yeah, Konechny's maybe, and then Jarvis, Cirelli. Maybe Cirelli and Konechny are the guys that I would swap out, but pretty hard to. And then for D, I think I would make a couple changes. Taves and Makar I keep. Well, Pietrangelo can't play, so there's one already. Theodore Morrissey, Pareko. Who is that guy they brought up? I thought Thomas Harley did well. And maybe I consider Ekblad. So there's some thoughts, but not for sure. Looking at the past 2-3 seasons, October really defines Canucks playoffs. January, we tough to play catch up. Yeah, the Canucks, it's like common sense, but they got to have a really good start to the season. Fear, Cujo, and Ranford. There's some deep cuts. Those guys were good too. Bedard celebrating Thomas. Oh yeah, that's fair. I do not think Jet Wu will make. There's too many people ahead of him, top 10. Hughes and Brock Faber. Oh, yeah. Bruce Cass. So we got Cassidy, DeBoer, and Gallant all in the house tonight. That is awesome. More excited for the World Juniors. The Hunter Bros are going to be running the team. Like Dale will coach, and then Mark will be the one managing the team. All right. I did not know you were that excited for the World Juniors. That's good. That's good. 22 goals. So, he had basically 39 points for Carolina, so half a point per game. Stone isn't the fastest. Yeah, but he's a good leader. He's a good leader, and he can score. Good point. With Villander and DPD in the lineup, the cap is only down to 2.275 according to Canucks Army. It's going to be rough to get Rostovich unless someone has moved out. Or if they only go with 22 roster players, not 23. Oh, yeah, Team USA is stacked, especially with Hughes. Carter Verhaeghe is who you'd add. Bob Essensa, that's another deep cut. Went to the Sphere. That's awesome. What did you watch? Yeah, half a point per game isn't too bad at all. All right, 2 more minutes of Canucks and hockey-related questions, and then we'll do the last 10 minutes of Ask Me Anything. And then I hope I don't get a text at 12 saying, hey, Clay, where are you? All right, last 2 minutes, Canucks and hockey-related questions. Your last chance to say something about the Canucks special teams, power play or penalty kill, whatever you expect next season. What are we laughing at? Oh, me getting a call at 12? Yeah, it's the nail picker saying, where are you, Clay? No, that didn't sound right. Oh, postcard from Earth. That's cool. That's cool. That's their standard show, right? I'm sure that's a really good show. Oh, you like your goalies, Tyler. Garley, Huggy, Demmer, and maybe Besser. Yeah, I think of those guys, though, it would just be Huggy and maybe Demmer. I don't think Garland and Besser are the top 12 forwards in the USA. When do Olympic rosters get announced? Usually they don't have to finalize it until pretty close to Olympics, so it's going to be a while. Hey, Clay, where are you? I've been waiting to start picking my nails. What did I think about the PK this year? I thought it was great. They're third in the league. Okay, we are going to move to, and I'm going to be ruthless. I always say that. Ruthless is the wrong word, but I'm going to be pretty strict about this. Non-Canucks and non-hockey questions, just as Claude Julien enters the chat. So now we got 4. We got 4 NHL coaches in the chat. Yeah, Tyler, I said I think the PK is going to be fine because you have better D for all season and you got a healthy Demko. Have that lady put on a Batman mask and say, where are you? I did see a Batman down in Vegas with one of the mascots for sure. I got some pictures of my dad when he went to the Sphere in Vegas. Venetian, nice. Can't wait for September. Coach Rob and I were going to Penticton. Nice. For the Canucks training camp. Awesome. Favorite part about the Vegas trip? I'd have to say it's the most expensive part too, is the Backstreet Boys concert. That was kind of the whole reason why we went. It was great. Favorite meal in Vegas? We go to Huaro too, or Huaro, which is Korean barbecue, tomahawk steak, ribeye. That was pretty good. That was on the Saturday. Also did boiling crab, where pounds of prawns and shrimp. So that was good. Did an awesome Italian meal. Did a nice steakhouse. But I'd say it's the Korean barbecue for sure. What Backstreet Boys songs played at your wedding reception? Yeah, we got married July 2000. Millennium just is, so 3 of the albums came out. Pretty sure, I'm sure If I Want It That Way was out. As Long As You Love Me. Maybe Quit Playing Games With My Heart. Maybe those 3. Maybe Everybody, Backstreet's Back. Maybe Get Down. I can't remember. I don't even remember dancing, actually. I was too busy entertaining people. In a Batman voice. Now I'm scared. Well, it's better than... Well, actually, she's halfway there, because I think I told you she picks her nails and she goes... That's not really a Batman voice, but... No, I did not run into any athletes in Vegas. However, on Saturday, we were torn between going to the going to see the Pacquiao fight or going to see Shin Lim. But as much as Gail likes Pacquiao, Filipino, all that, she's not into boxing, so I wouldn't want to make her sit through 3 hours of that. I did watch Raw. I watched it on the plane on the way home. How many of the coaches are really Jay? That's true. Jay is quite creative. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to do one of these, SJ. Top 5 pies. Strawberry pie, apple pie. Are those only 2 I eat? Yeah. Those are only 2 I eat. So, SJ, I'll give you one more because I can only get to 2 of the 5. So I'll let you do one more. How bad were the terrorists coming back to Canada? I didn't notice them. I didn't notice them. They're like... Tariffs is more when it's more like it affects businesses more, not an individual consumer. Like prices were high in Vegas, but we didn't get taxed any more than we usually do, if that makes sense, coming back. Did not see Bruce in Vegas. I love having all the coaches. Someone's really creative with, why is Kayla calling me? I'm in a live stream right now. Hold on. I'm in a show right now.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Do you have adoration?
Yes, at 1. Okay, bye. Really want to go see that Backstreet Boys show. Probably be just me. The wife isn't interesting after seeing your Why Is My Seat Moving video. Yeah, actually, Tyler, that's a good point. I was going to say that for someone, or maybe I did say this. I don't think I did. For someone who's afraid of heights or gets motion sickness, that is... Sorry, I just had to plug in my laptop as I see it's almost about to die. That is a pretty challenging show to watch if you don't like heights, and especially if you have motion sickness. So, yeah, be forewarned. Clay loves his beef more than sushi. No, I still like sushi more than beef, but we're not going to... We only went to Japanese food once. We went to an omakase place on Thursday night with friends, and that was good. But I'm not going to spend too much on Japanese food in Vegas when it's so good here. Absolutely. Yes, Sarah. I've watched so many vlogs about this and I've witnessed it firsthand. Vegas is dead comparatively speaking to what it like, maybe because it's so bloody hot and no one wanted to be on the strip, but the strip was, I wouldn't say empty, but the strip was certainly not as busy as I've seen it before, for sure. Big fan of Shin Lim. Exactly. Cutie pie. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. That's one of my top 5 pies. Okay. Italian or Mexican? No, I'm Japanese and Chinese. Oh, you mean what type of food? I like Italian food more than Mexican food. Oh, you actually heard Kayla on the stream? That's funny. Yeah, she was probably talking pretty loud in the car and it went through the microphone. Quickest phone call ever with Kayla. Yeah, she knows. She didn't know I was on the show, but she did ask a very relevant question. She basically asked where to park because she knows that I have to leave for church. Did you see a lot of Vegas jerseys in Vegas? No, it was too hot, Natty. It was too hot. Grand Canal shops are very nice, SGA. Did you go see the Sphere? So top 10, I think you must have been late to the show because I spent the whole first 15 minutes talking about, well, not the whole, but yes, I talked about my Sphere experience for about 5 minutes at the first half of this show. That's where we saw the Backstreet Boys show. She can't do the deboxing. Yeah, no, that's fair. Kayla, where are you? Isn't your prayer heart told? Yeah, why are you still home? So when you went to the stuff in Vegas, was it busy? And all the events you went to? Yes, the actual events. Good question, Simon. The actual events were busy. It was the walking the strip it was quite dead for sure. The mannequin in one of the sports shops wearing Vegas gear, and they had elbow pads on the shins. See, I wouldn't even notice that, Irvin. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. What was worse, the seats movie? Oh, Twisters. Twisters were Backstreet Boys. It only happened like 5 or 6 times, and at least it was, I was so happy to be there. Twister, I was like trying not to throw up. Good memory, fangirl. Las Vegas, very good. I like that one. Did I have to avoid the photo girls? Yeah, they always wanted to take pictures. No, I only saw a couple of them. Of all the tourist attractions you've been to, where does the Sphere rank? I would dream of going there one day, whether it's for an NHL draft or a concert. For actual experiences, it's got to be top 3 for sure. And I haven't been everywhere cool around the world. I haven't seen all the 7 wonders of the world, but for the immersive experience that it was, I was very, I guess it's a matter of how impressed was I, and I was super impressed. So this is right up top 3. But I can't even name what the other ones are right now. Some of the temples we saw in Korea last year were pretty cool. Some of the churches I saw in Rome were pretty cool, but this is right up there for sure. Yeah, Canadian boycott, that would make sense. Which 2 people, could be yourself included, would you want to see do the awkward Coldplay hug? Do you mean getting caught or just hugging? I'll hug Gail like that all day. That didn't sound right. That was fine. That was clean. But if I want to see people get caught, like one of those annoying streamers, maybe. Not because I want to see them hug. I just want to see them get in trouble. Carol, I think this is for Rob and Shannon, right? I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, but I think you guys are talking about meeting up in Penticton, which is cool. The hotel was great. Thank you. The bathtub was fun. It was wonderful. Katy Perry concert. Oh, awesome. I hope it went well, Justin. No, I didn't know she was here. And love the BSB content. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to do a YouTube video over the next couple of days for sure. Flight to Vegas was full. Flight home was full. But yeah, I knew this. I remember this. Our flight was at 9:00 on a Monday night, and there's only like 2 people talking the entire time. The person that sat next to Gail and me slept the whole way back. I don't think he was even hungover. He was just tired. Were there any vendors doing portraits? Not a lot. I had a friend get one while walking along. Oh, interesting. No, I didn't see any of the caricature people. They wanted a photo with Clay. Yeah, I charged them. Exactly, Adrian. You should eat at Buddy Velastro's Restaurante. Okay, I will remember that. I remember that for sure. 360 video on the strip. Oh yeah, I saw that. Is that the one where they got the spinning platform and the selfie light? Yeah, I don't think Gail's into that kind of thing. Don't know for a picture with Clay. I'll give those for free. I have not been to the Grand Canyon, so that's a good question, Pastor Dan, for sure. I said no Canucks content, but this is pretty funny. EP40 JT Miller Coldplay. Trump Epstein. See Mount St. Helens? Yeah, that would be cool too, for sure, for sure. Drink it in, man. That's good. That's good. You just made the list. I want to see a Katy Perry concert. Yeah, that would be good. Thank you, SGA. I think you're a great guy too. Yeah, one day we'll just do all. Yeah, these are both from Jericho too. Hi guys. He had that one in AEW. Not as good. Not as good. Hey, I'm missing hockey as well. We're almost there. We're almost halfway through July. We're almost halfway through the summer. We're got to get through July, and then August might be any quieter, but then September it will ramp up. All right, friends, it is midnight. I'm hoping I don't get a text in about a minute saying, "Where are you?" And I especially hope it's not from the nail picker. But you guys are great. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you. Right. Yeah. Very good. Yes. Ozzy Osbourne passed away. Malcolm Jamal Warner, most famous for being Theo Huxtable in The Cosby Show, he passed away too. So 2 very, very prominent star figures for sure. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, so legendary Line Change, legendary Carol Bovelander, legendary Brian Blingy, and legendary Andrew Chang. Thank you for your support, and thank you to Hall of Fame franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, subscribing. On your way out, like the video, subscribe, and you can leave a late donation if you want to. Thank you to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Gassy Jack Art, and Coach Patrick Lou, Weight Loss Coach. Thanks to those of you who went above and beyond. Skytrain Alfred with the monthly membership message, Line Change with the donation, and Swervin Irvin with the membership gift. Add it all up, and the winner of tonight's fictional leaderboard is dun 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 dun. It's a tie. Fangirl and Irvin tie with 600 points, and Line Change just beats out Alfred and Simon and others for third place. But Fangirl or Irvin, there's only one way to break that tie, but don't do it just to win. Well, you do whatever you want. So thanks to everyone for their interaction and engagement tonight. Don't forget, I am back Thursday night. Thursday night for regular stream for all of us at 11 p.m. And Shannon, I hope you feel better. I've been following some of the messages. I haven't read them out loud, but I do hope that you indeed get healthy and get better for sure. All right, friends, you're awesome. I'm awesome. We're all awesome. Adrian, I will let you know if she is there waiting for me. I'll text you tomorrow. And to everyone else, including Adrian, thank you for being here. And thank you for supporting me on this channel. I'm very grateful for all of you. And I can't wait to see all you guys on Thursday night. Stay safe. Oh, by the way, Thursday I'm going golfing with Sean and Jacob and Sean's fiance's father. So 2 dads and my 2 boys. So golfing on Thursday, and then I will be able to recap that for you on Thursday night. And I bring that up because my ending joke is indeed golf related. See you on Thursday. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. So when I go golfing on Thursday, I'm going to definitely bring an extra pair of socks. Yes, I'm going to bring an extra pair of socks when I go golfing, just in case I get a hole in one. Yeah, a hole in one. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.